Hello everyone, this is Blue Smoke Productions here, bringing back another commentary video. I have not done a commentary in forever, and well, honestly, it's just because I kind of got busy, and I had a bunch of commentaries that I had originally. Well, I recorded a bunch of commentaries for like a full series, but then my first commentary didn't really do that well, so I didn't really think about it. But honestly, I think I picked the wrong video to start the commentary series off with, and that was the Grand Canyon video. And honestly, like I said, I feel like that was the wrong video to start off with. I just started off with that one because I feel like that was one of the freshest ones in my mind at the time. So basically what we're going to talk about today is, well, I was debating between which commentary I should do, and I decided I wanted to do the, well, it was a no-brainer, my 1702 video. This is what I consider my first good video on my channel. All the videos I made before that were kind of, well, first year my channel was nothing but really bad videos, because like 4501, that was terrible. My Disney World Railroad video, Six Flags Railroad video, those were bad. So I decided, I was actually going to restore the 4501 video, but I decided to cancel that project just because of how bad the video is, and it's just not really worth working on. It was just kind of a waste of space. So I deleted that project, and I decided I'm going to do this project instead. So basically, bit of background for this video. Basically, I found out that when following 1702's return to service, I found out that it would be operating on the Tuckasegee River on my 18th birthday. So I went to go see it, obviously. And I decided to chase the train rather than ride it, since I'd never done a chase before, which was actually very stressful. I was like all worried that, you know, I'd never done a chase before. So basically, yeah. But the reason, I've re-uploaded this video like 3 times, and the reason for that is mainly just because like each time I've uploaded it, I haven't been satisfied with the final product. But the director's cut is going to be the final time I re-upload that. Well, with the exception of this commentary, and next weekend I have plans to upload a project. Never mind. Well, I've stalled long enough, so let's begin the video. 3, 2, 1, play. My intro. Estelle. Durango. I might make a Durango commentary at some point. 4501. Okay, yeah, this isn't my current intro. This intro, my current intro is... Okay, I like that shot, but I'll talk about that shot later. Also, be warned, this video is going to be long, so grab yourself a drink and popcorn. Or just watch the regular video if you don't want a version without me talking over it. The classic logo. I might change that logo at some point. I don't know. Blue Smoke Productions presents. It's kind of... So basically the reason why I was having all these problems is when I first shot the video, I shot it with MTS, and I uploaded all the files as MTS, which is a lower quality, and I did that because I thought it was going to work with Premiere, but it didn't, so it was completely pointless. And now the videos were all low quality. So then I had to upload them to Facebook, re-download them, and then delete all the Facebook videos, so then that way they would at least look clear. So then I uploaded them on the Facebook videos and added this filter over them to make the final products. And it was satisfying for the time, but I just wasn't. Then I figured out that I could convert all the videos on my camera. I never deleted them from my camera to MP4, so I did that and uploaded them as an MP4 file, and finally they were at the quality that they were supposed to be. So you can see this is a shot here of 1702. I didn't originally use this because I wasn't satisfied, like people were getting in the way, as you can still see. One of the things I want to point out here, I was actually uploading some pictures of 1702 not too long ago, and one person was telling me to remove the flags or something since it was a Photoshop project. And you can hear me talking there. My mom was asking for a photo or something. And we did get a group photo. I actually have it. But he was talking about how the flags were oversized because it was a Photoshop project. It was a photo of like 1702 popping out of a frame. Oh gosh, that whistle. And yeah, he was telling me the flags were oversized. And looking at them now, they do look pretty big, but obviously I didn't grow up in the Steam age. You can see me zooming in on everything. Now the one thing about that shot is the only reason why I included it was the whistle. Otherwise I wouldn't have included it because you got the guy running and dropping his glove, running to get on the train. That was like the 5-minute warning. And basically I thought I filmed the 1702 pulling out of Bryson. Well, the diesel's pulling 1702 out of Bryson. But as it turns out, I didn't. I'm pissed off about that. But anyway, no harm done there. Actually, when I chase the train in Nantahala eventually, and that will happen one day, I don't know if I want to film the departure or if I want to film on the bridge, because I was talking to the Nuga railfan a few days ago and he was telling me that it isn't possible to film the departure and make it to the bridge before the train. It might be, I don't know. So this shot here was filmed on the GoPro, and those two diesels are GP9 diesels. The numbers are 711 and 777. 1705, no, 17, yeah, it is 1705, I think, either 1750 or 1705, one of the two. The blue one, the blue GP9 was actually in Bryson when I saw it. You probably saw it in the previous shot, though I don't know for sure. And the red GP9, 755, was in the Dillsboro shop, as well as the Santa Fe diesel. It was a I don't remember what it was, but it was blue in its Santa Fe colors at the time, and I think it's 1067, I believe, or something. Please correct me on that. Just realized how shaky this video is. But obviously this is a pretty big train. Here's the thing. Because this was the Tuckasegee River, I was not expecting a huge train. 1702's Tuckasegee trains previously were only like, I don't know, about 8 cars long, while the Nantahala cars were 12 cars long. This was a 17-car train. Like, if it's that heavy that they need 2 diesels to pull it, then wow, those coaches also look very heavy. But allowing this, I think 1702 put on a much greater show. Now, that crossing there was broken down here. This is near a trailer park. And that crossing was broken, so they had to have a guy flag down traffic. This is probably the closest I got while the train was in motion. And I got pretty close, as you can see. Nice shot of the diesels, I guess. There was actually a banjo player down nearby there, and my dad was like saying the night before, if you see a banjo player run, that's obviously referencing Deliverance. Honestly, if I chase 1702 again on the Tuckasegee, I might film here again and get a shot of it going forwards here. So, yeah, this was a 17-car train. So yeah, Nantahala trains are usually heavier. I was not expecting a huge train. I mean, the train was already long when I was like walking on there. I'm just like walking, it's like, wait, how long is this train? This is not 8 cars. And I didn't see the 2 diesels till I got that first shot at the crossing. It's like, wait, they're using 2 for this? Oh gosh, and it was like counting the cars, and I didn't count till after I saw the video. But yeah, this was 17 cars, including the 2 cabooses. I kind of like the two cabooses at the front of the engine, but I don't really like when they put the cabooses in like the middle of the train or something. This shot was taken from near a boat marina across from Dillsborough. I wanted to get this shot on Double Bridge Road, but I just decided to do this. I filmed on Double Bridge Road later, and you're going to see that shot much later. But basically, so there's our two diesels there, and then they kind of hid away in that tree there. Funny story about boat marinas, actually. I was near that boat marina. Obviously, I stood away from the ramp because I didn't want to slip, because a long time ago I slipped on a boat ramp. Scratched up my arm real bad. It was not fun. But yeah, this is the kind of shot you could only get when it's winter, because obviously with this shot you would not be able to get this when it was in the spring or the summer, because the leaves would block everything. And you might be able to get it in the fall, but 1702 barely operates on the Tuckasegee in the fall, so the only real good place to get this would be the winter season. The interesting thing is that I basically made this chase all by myself. I mapped it out all by myself and everything. So then we next went to go to the workshop. This was the GoPro. This was a good shot on the GoPro too, compared to the other shot. In my original cut, I left this shot on way too long and I used my camera shot, but this shot shows off more of the town of Dillsborough itself. I really probably shouldn't be recording this commentary. I've actually got school tomorrow and got homework I need to finish, but... So yeah, there's our two diesels pulling in. I probably should have picked a better spot to film to be able to see 1702, but honestly I don't think there was anyone. Well, there's that little boardwalk actually that you're going to see in a minute that I walked down to, and next time I chase the train down here, I'll probably, if I can get here before it for Dillsborough, because I don't think I'm going to chase the trip to Dillsborough again. The footage I might just film on that little boardwalk you're going to see in a minute. Now this train, I did actually permit this footage to be used in some friends' film. They're doing it's a film for a science project, and I'm not going to go into details about that, but I did give them permission to use this footage. And if you guys, see that film and see my footage, yes, I know, I gave them permission. And this does not mean I gave everyone permission to use my footage. It's actually quite the opposite. I don't want people using my footage in their projects or my photos. I also don't want people... I have another channel where I compose music, and I don't really like people using my music in their projects. Not like anyone subscribes or listens to my music anyway. It's terrible, but I'm getting better at it, I guess. I'm continuously practicing, so... But yeah, if they use my footage. I doubt they're going to use my footage, actually, but yeah, if If it is used, just, yes, I did permit it. And I'll probably, if they do use it, I'll probably ask them to credit me. So obviously the train's stopping here. And 1702 is under the bridge. So yeah, there was really no good way to be able to get it. Alright, so the train stopped at Dillsborough. There's me walking over to 1702. I'm so nervous doing this. I don't really like to stay close to the ballast. I try to stay at least 10 feet away from the ballast on trips like this. You can see I was the only one there, but later on a whole bunch of people crowded around to get photos of the engine. Said it was fine as long as you didn't go in front of the engine. So I stayed behind the engine. This also gave us a good chance to look at the engines itself. The livery on the engine is I do like this livery, and they did a really good job with the restoration. It's a mixture of both of its liveries when it was on the GSMR. Well, honestly, I can see a bit more of the second livery, but I like this livery better. It's the block lettering, 1702, Bryson City, the block lettering, and everything it's all clean, pretty. Look at those rods, actually. Look at how nice those look. That whistle, GSMR. Gosh, they did such a good job on this restoration. And there's me zooming in on the plate there. I'm not really good at that. And yeah, the smoke box looks pretty good too. It's a mixture of both the gray and silver it wore. And then this is me on that boardwalk. I wish I'd discovered that boardwalk before, so that way I could have used it prior. Now, if you look in the background there, you can see 722's tender. That's the whole reason I chose this shot. I didn't actually get any pictures of 722's tender. Had a conversation, you can hear them talking there, some workers about 722's status. And yeah, I'd heard a rumor that Swain County donated the money for 722's restoration and that it would be ready by 2010. It was just a rumor. And it was a Wikipedia rumor, so. Now that was a good whistle there. When I first heard that whistle, I was just like, this is where the fun begins. You can clearly see that engine's giving its all. I mean, look at it. That little 280 is pulling a 17-car passenger train. All those coaches are made out of steel. And while it does have helpers from those two diesels, I really don't think the diesels did much to actually help. So I'm a little distracted at the moment. So basically, that's coming to the end of this train. Here's one of the things that was kind of weird all was because of how big this train is. My mom was telling me to cut down footage of the train or of showing all those cars. And she told me also not to upload the footage of 1702 being pulled to Dillsboro. Though I did upload that on its own. It's still my most popular. This is my favorite shot of all time. Oh gosh, you can hear the whistle echoing. You can see the steam up in the front there. There you go. You could see its headlight just right there. At the far background, you'd have to go back and see it. This is a shot that I want to get, like, I want to take it, I want to get it painted over or something. And I might actually do some playing with this on Photoshop, actually. And the only real thing is there's a little studio in the corner there. But this is on Double Bridge Road. This is typically a spot where every single railfan that chases 1702 to Dillsboro or from Dillsboro, they always film here. And I didn't actually know this was the spot that everyone filmed at, because I remember seeing this, the Nooga Railfans video, first video here. Oh, here comes 1702 now, and she's going to put on a good whistling show. But I remember, basically, I didn't recognize the spot initially, but then I was looking at Google Maps and looking at images there, and I'm just like, wait, this is that spot where the Nooga Railfan filmed in his video, and I just like looked all over. Everyone apparently films here. But yeah, just if you look at how beautiful that shot is, you know why I love it. Oh my gosh. It was kind of a change in pitch with the whistle there. But, gosh, that was one of the few examples where that Southern PS4 whistle it uses just put on such a show. The shot's a little shaky, I'll admit, and I don't think I was actually holding the camera during it. And the vibrations might be causing it to shake. But, because I was actually holding the GoPro, and I got 2 shots with this. You can see the other shot in my special edition in the first video, but yeah, this is the director's cut, so I need to get a steady cam or something. I need to do something about my shots. I should probably bring up what I was wearing for this video. I wore a Norfolk Southern cap. I wore a long sleeve shirt, a windbreaker, a hoodie. So I was wearing 3 layers. I might have been wearing 4 actually. Yeah, I was wearing 4 layers. I was wearing a windbreaker, a sweatshirt, and a hoodie. I'm sorry, okay, this is one of my other favorite shots right here. I think it looks good up until the point where I pan down on the trucks. So basically what I was saying, what I was wearing for this video, to film this video, I was wearing 4 layers. I was wearing a long sleeve shirt, a windbreaker, a sweatshirt, a hood, and a hoodie. Those were where I was wearing it. The top, the bottom, I was wearing my skinny jeans, I think, and I was wearing tights underneath. Yes, I do wear tights. I am a runner, and I was a dancer once, so I do have a pair of tights. And I wear them a lot when either I run on cold days or I'm in theater. You can see I pan down on the trucks there. That was not my fault. That was an accident. Like, I think I let go of the camera or something. And you can hear a kid at some point shouting at me. Yeah, there he is. But I really like this shot here. Partially, this shot, I kind of think I was filming on somebody's property when I was filming it. But oh well. At least I wasn't arrested or anything. That might be my second favorite shot. One point my mom thought the train stopped, but it's just because the train runs so slow. And we couldn't really pace the train because of how slow it runs. It runs at a branch line speed. Oh, this is a shot here that I call classic. You got the crossings, you got bells, you got the whistles, and just the angle. Like, doesn't it remind you of something like I Love Toy Trains or one of those toy train productions videos that you would check out from the library? This was actually the first shot I ever uploaded, and I uploaded it on Facebook. You can hear me run real fast to get something to turn on my GoPro. And look at all that smoke it's spouting from that. Gosh, they really did such a good job restoring the engine. But yeah, I remember, like, after I uploaded this, this shot, my great aunt was telling me, like, my great uncle said he needed to get himself a seat on the train. He kept, like, asking how is this small little steam engine can pull so many cars, but then he saw the two diesels. I do wonder if 1702 could actually pull this train on its own, and that the diesels were only there to assist. But no, I do think the diesels were assisting somewhat, but I feel like their assistance was only used when they needed them. And I feel like 1702 was doing most of the work on that return trip. Heck, I almost think 1702 doesn't even necessarily need diesel assistance for the Tuckasegee trips, considering that's a small train, but the regular Tuckasegee and not this one, because it's such a small train and they only need one diesel, and they only have the diesel to pull the train back to Dillsboro. This was a last-second shot in Whitener. I used to not like this shot, mainly just because of the people in the way of it. But no, this shot's kind of grown on me. That's why I decided to use it.
I'm in video production.
Sorry, that was my Snapchat. I'm watching a bunch of stuff on Snapchat. That was my Snapchat, if you heard that. Okay, this shot here was a nightmare. Like, this should be my favorite shot right here, and it's my mom's favorite shot, but it's not mine, because I swear, I waited like 20 minutes for the train to get there. And by that point, the wind was howling away at me. I was freezing cold. Only time I was really freezing cold during the whole chase. My eyes were, by the time the train actually got there, my eyes were watering. Like, it was such a nightmare. I was surprised the shot looked as good as it did. Like, I'm surprised it looks that good. Now, of course, I love this shot. I think I did an amazing job with it, but it's just not really my favorite. So one of the things I do like about this is that I made all kinds of expansive shots. There's all kinds of different shots in there between stationary and panning, and you got a crossing shot and wide open shot. I would say this would have been a good final shot to get before going back to Dillsboro, but the next shot has a pretty big story that I'll tell you in a minute. And I think you can hear me at some point go like, because my eyes are watering, and you can see it. There was a change in light right there. there was a huge change in light. And you can even see it on the diesels that are going to show up. Like the coaches no longer appear red. I think that was the sun went behind a mountain, so like even you can't really tell the difference between the colors of the diesels. Or you can a little, but the green one looks like it's gotten darker. Now this shot here has a big story. This was a last second shot. Basically we pulled over to the side and I zoomed my camera in. And I thought like a car was going to block our way, our shot. There were some other rail fans, and they were basically, you can hear them. Yeah, there were these other rail fans. And basically we pulled over to the side of the road. Cars are driving by us. But basically one car stopped right at the tip of the front of our car. And there's these other rail fans. They literally stopped right behind our car. We was lucky they were the ones there. They stopped between us just to form a gap, just so I could get my shot. Otherwise, this shot would have never worked. But this was such a good shot, and this is one of my all-time favorite shots. Gosh, yeah, that was such a nice shot. Yeah, I want to go back to Chase 1702 again. And, yeah. I was surprised my mom agreed to do this chase. I mean, I could have easily gone up there by myself. I could drive, but that would have been too far of a drive for me. And I was surprised my little brother and my mom agreed to do this. Like, my mom agreed to chase. She was the one who suggested chasing just because she didn't want to pay to ride the train. But, my little brother went with us to map out our routes. But the fact that they went with us, and I'm surprised how much fun Mom was actually having chasing the train. Like, she was treating the chase as a scavenger hunt, and we had to get more shots than those other two rail fans, as I mentioned. And I think I found their channels. And to those rail fans, if you're watching, thank you. Now this shot, you can hear the Polar Express theme playing in the background. I actually just recently finished a cover of the Polar Express theme. I can't go into details about it because I might be using it in another project that I don't want to disclose at the moment. But, gosh, this was so amazing. I actually thought this was the Polar Express excursion because, for one, it was playing this at the end, but throughout the entire excursion, 1702, you can see there's Polar Express logos on the coaches. But no, I think what it actually was that the 1755 or 50 or whatever was going to pull out with the actual Polar Express excursion. Says it had some banners on the side. It was going to pull the train along the Nantahala. But this was amazing, just listening to the Polar Express theme and all that. They also removed one of the, actually when they did the Polar Express, the actual Polar trip, after that, they removed one of the cabooses from the train, and I guess one of the diesels probably went back to Dillsboro, because I don't think they need 3 diesels to pull this train. Considering 2 could pull this train well enough with a steam engine on the end of it. Gosh, she put on such a show. I really want to thank the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad for doing this restoration and bringing back 1702. And I just like to, there were so many people, like I imagine they were Bryson City locals that come out just to watch the train come back in. And I would honestly like to live in Bryson just to see a train, just to see the steam engine every morning. Like I wonder what it is like for locals. And then the rest of this here was filmed on the GoPro. This is 1702 pulling out of Bryson to go to the turntable. Well, it's not pulling out of Bryson, it's still in Bryson, but... Now, the turntable was added in addition to Bryson. The biggest problem I have with the turntable, though, is it's not really incorporated in any of the excursions. Yeah, the shot here isn't very good. 1702 on the turntable, because the sun is in the background and it screwed up. I probably should have been on the other side. I chose to film on the turntable with the GoPro because, I don't know, I think the camera was running low on battery by that point, so... I kind of just see their turntable. Their turntable's not incorporated into the trip like the Tennessee Valley's turntable, but I guess it's kind of a neat bonus, I guess. It's a neat bonus for, you know, you're heading into your car, you're leaving the station, you're going back to your car, and you can see there's a train. You get to see the steam engine be used on a turntable and be shunted onto its maintenance pit. And yes, they put a shed on that maintenance pit since then. So that way the trains, I guess to keep the train under cover, since they don't always have time to run it all the way back to Dillsboro after the day, so I guess it's used for minor repairs, and the steam shop trips are for major repairs. Hopefully this will keep 1702 around much longer, hopefully. Just making these arrangements and all that. I definitely hope 1702 stays around for a long time following I hope they don't dismantle it and take it out of service for like 20 years like they did when the engine first went out of service. But it wasn't 20 years. It was out of service in 2004. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 12 years. And it spent 3 of those years being overhauled, so... So yeah, the restoration took only about 3 years. But yeah, you can see why I don't like this shot. Wish you could somehow just Photoshop the sun out or something. This shot's better, because I moved it. Okay, so yeah, this turntable is not motorized. It is manual. So if the engine's not balanced right, I assume it's very easy to push. It looks like it only took about 6 people to push it. Like what I was expecting what they were going to do was get it on there, lined up there, back the engine out and have it run back down to Bryson. Through Bryson back to Dillsboro. I wasn't expecting them to put it on this pit. 1702 is, this was, I think, a very good trip. Sorry, I just got completely lost there. So this was a really fun trip for me. I'd love to do it again. 1702 is operating on my 18th birthday again, which is next week at the time I am uploading this, but I will not be going back to chase 1702. Lack of time. And I don't think I could get anyone to go with me, and I don't go rail fanning by myself. I'm going to upload that video at some point, my rail fan rules. I'll probably save that for a later day. I think I've recorded audio for that, but I think I'll save that video for another weekend. So yeah, the workers there, they did such a good job on the engine. And I definitely hope the engine stays around. I definitely hope 722 comes back very soon. And rather than see the two doublehead, I like to see them run back to back on the train. Like have 722 pull the train to Dillsboro while 1702 pulls the other half of the train. Pulls the train back to Nantahala. I think that would be very fun. I'd like to see 1702. I would like to see them. I would like to see them double head, and yeah. Here's my biggest questions, though, from what I asked about the people. When I asked the workers about 722, they said that the plans were to repaint it, and if they restore it, it would be repainted in its southern black, probably, like its sister 630. I mean, I guess that is more traditional. And considering 722 is already native to the line. Now, if you look in the background of this, yeah, there it is. You can see 1755. You can see that diesel, the blue one. So I think this marks the end of the video, essentially. As 1702 is essentially done by this point. With 722 though, I also think that when it's restored, it'll probably be run on oil rather than coal. And the reason for that is 1702 already uses oil, and all the diesels use oil, so there's not really a point. It's cheaper just to buy oil for everything rather than have one engine be coal-fired. And I do know coal can be, both fuel types do have their ups and downs. And there's my ending logo. I didn't edit that right. That's another special edition change. But, anyway, so that wraps up this commentary. This is Blue Smoke Productions saying goodbye, thank you for watching, and don't put coins on the railroad tracks.